Step in the box, baseball fans. Welcome back to another episode of Batter Up with Brett and John. What is happening tonight, fellas?
Doing well, Brett. We have a last minute guest joining us. I worked this out just before the show. We've got Peds here. Peds, you are on location, right?
I am on site. I'm at the Philly show actually, so I'm here for the whole weekend and was hoping I'd be able to, get some free time to join you guys. And luckily, worked out where the show ended at 5 o'clock today. Got an earlier dinner, came back and ready to rock. So thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining. I guess first topic you want to touch on, Brett? You want to throw it over to Peds about the Philly show?
Yeah, let's. What were the vibes like? Tenants, stuff moving.
Oh, today was pretty insane. It was packed. It was packed out the wazoo. I mean, there were so many autograph guests today between, 76ers players, Eagles players, former, Phillies players. I think Pete Rose or Schmidt was there. And, every single table and dealer, it seemed, was just packed and mobbed with people of all ages, young, old, female, male, and the vibes were amazing. I mean, um, we were pretty busy as for my company. I work for an auction house, and it was very busy, and constant traffic throughout the day. And I saw a lot of people with their briefcases, moving cards, and it's just insane how alive the hobby is. And baseball, I'm seeing a lot more baseball cards moving with the season on the horizon. I saw the CEO of Fanatics was actually on the show floor today, Michael
Oh, wow.
Rubin. So that was pretty cool. I saw him walking by, and I'm like, it's nice to see that somebody who's going to be the CEO of Fanatics and is going to be the driving force of the future of baseball cards is really getting in the weeds and wants to know the pulse of the hobby. So it was a great day. Friday yesterday was a little bit slower, during the work day, and it was still really solid. Today was very busy, a lot of fun, and I was able to break away too for a little bit and scratch my itch, and I picked up some cards. So it was a great day, a lot of fun, great show.
Yeah, did you pick up just sealed product? I think you were talking to us backstage, and you mentioned something about some Bowman's Best and a couple other sealed products. Do you pick up any singles of specific players leading into the baseball season?
Yeah, I did. I can pull a couple of them out for you real quick if you guys want.
Sure.
I'll be quick. I'll just show you like the better ones that I got. I got my first Ken Griffey Jr. autograph card, which is pretty cool. That was one of the highlights, and I've come to know a dealer at this show, and I got this Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck autograph for like $90.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty cool. And then some of the other highlights that I picked up this cool Corey Seager first Bowman refractor auto first. I think I got him for cheaper than this. It's numbered to 199, and it's actually really clean. And you don't see these cards from 2010 Bowman in great shape. Oftentimes, like they're very scratched up. So I was happy about that. And then I'll just show you three other cool cards I picked up. I got this Vlad Topps Heritage Chrome Refractor rookie card for like 90, I want to say, and this one's numbered to like 569.
Oh, wow.
So
569.
and
I thought you were going to say 5. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
I wish.
Number to 5?
Yeah.
Oh, go.
And then I always loved these sweet spot cards growing up. 2007, 2008. Ernie Banks. It's like a faded autograph, but I thought that was pretty cool. And then I got this cool Machado mini Gypsy Queen numbered card to 199 rookie. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. But picked up some cool stuff like these singles I just showed you, and then I got a box of Bowman's Best and some hangers from Update. So
Cool.
That was a heck of a haul.
That's a good haul. Yeah, it sounds like a busy, fun show. It'd be like almost like a mini, I want to say national because that would be too cliche, but like the Dallas East show or whatever, right?
Literally. Like I waited in line to get food today for like 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It was yeah. But all around great show. It's always one of my favorites aside from the national. So
How often do they put that show on? Is it a quarterly show? Is it annual, semi-annual?
so I believe they do it 3 times a year.
Okay.
So yeah, for now it's 3 times a year. But always a great turnout.
Where's the venue? Is it at a big convention center? Is it somewhere smaller?
Yeah, it used to be at like I think it used to be at the Valley Forge Casino, and it was I guess like the floor above it, but it just outgrew that spot. So now it's actually if there's like a exhibit hall in Oaks, uh, Pennsylvania, which is like right outside Philly, and they have all like these different halls A, B, C, D, and there's just a lot more room. So it's at the Oaks and big exhibit hall and there's a lot more space in between the aisles, and it's just a lot more conducive to the audience and the autograph guests and the space and people needed. So
I
That's
think a couple things that caught my attention when you started talking about the show is the local show here, which I haven't been to the last 2 months, has had record attendance back to back months. I was watching Card Collector 2 video this week, and Shipshawana was last weekend, and they said it was packed. Um, I have been watching eBay like crazy for baseball. In the last 2 weeks, it's gone insane. It even changed my mind to not sell my stuff to my bulk buyer and to drive my stuff down to Hobart, Indiana last weekend and drop them off with my underground case breaks. And he listed all my stuff last Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I actually have some stuff finishing last night, tonight, tomorrow. I got a bunch of stuff finishing, and some stuff's going lower, but the J Rod stuff, dude, has been just popping off. And that's the reason I drove it down there because I had so much J Rod stuff and Bobby Witt stuff. Um, Sales are on the rise. Anybody who said this hobby's dead and that it's junk wax 2.0, I understand the print runs, but here the hobby prices are going up on jumbos of Series 1. You know, Bowman's Best, we're going to talk about in a minute. Prices are insane. So the
good
pulse is
products.
still going.
Good products are good. Great products are great. Retail is dead.
Yeah, retail is dead.
yeah,
I mean,
pretty
that's
much.
what they're killing retail, but good products are good and great products are great. And we talked about Bowman's Best. I'll mention two. I know Brett missed out on both of these. He wasn't going to buy. I bought one of the two. I wish I would have bought both, but Gilded and the Ben Baller, both those products were pretty good too. Lower print runs, better hits. That's what people are looking for, and that's why the hobby, if it's going to survive and thrive and grow, you're going to have a base of products that is good for the people that have been in it, who are used to pulling hits, who are, who want better chance at value. Bowman's Best, another great example. I've seen a lot of low numbered stuff come out of there, a lot of numbered autos. So why don't we segue into Bowman's Best?
Yeah. I mean, guys, I've been talking about Bowman's Best for the last couple months. When's it coming out? When's it coming out? I can't wait. It's one of my favorite products. One, they don't make a lot of it. Two, it's usually a small checklist. It's always the best prospects. It's always the best rookies. And the rookie class is loaded this year. Um, there's always 4 autos per box. There's always a numbered card in each one of them. There's an atomic in each one. The product is sick, man. It looks amazing this year. I am super bummed that I did not pick up any boxes. Friday or Wednesday release day was so frustrating for me because I told you guys before we came in, and some of these guys have heard this already, but I had 800 on credit at my hobby shop. I walk in, I saw the UPS truck there. He brings in the cases. I'm like, my friend had called the day before and said, "What's going to be the price? 300." I walk in, I go, "Well, how much are they?" 350, and that just kind of struck a nerve to me. And I'm a value buyer, and I'm like, okay, what can I get that is more suited for value than to overpay on opening release day? I think that's the pain of it. It was release day, and they were still available on tops for 300. I should have bought some on tops, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
It's tough timing. I mean, I can totally empathize with you, Brett. I didn't buy any. My LCS comes out with a Monday newsletter. You're subscribed to that as well, the Indy Card Exchange. They were at $2.95 a box. I could have gotten up to, I think the limit was 8 at $2.95 a box. I didn't get any because I haven't sold enough from my order that I got back from PSA. So to fund my next purchase, I was waiting, and it's one of those things, like, you try to stay disciplined. I missed out. I need to sell this card, but I'm not sure this is the right time to sell it. It's probably my biggest card from my PSA order. It's simmering over here so I can beat Brett tonight in the box battle. It's trying to get this blaster box good luck. It's an LE Auto that I pulled from the parking lot that Brett gifted to me last year summertime.
Yeah, it's tough figuring out when to sell. His prices are still pretty high, but if he gets called up, that's when it's time to sell, in
Oh,
my
for
opinion.
sure.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think,
know,
provided that he doesn't fizzle out, I don't think that's a card I would sell right now. Like, I think it's too early. You should sell it when he gets to AAA, or he's like on the cusp of the major leagues. So, but yeah, I could sell it right now and do okay on it, but I'd rather wait a little bit.
Yeah, I
so
think that's smart. Like, you look at a guy like Anthony Volpe right now, where his prices last year went, like, kind of like went like flat after exploding, and they kind of went down, and now all of a sudden, the season's coming back up, and he's doing well in spring training, and he's kind of, on the brink of breaking into the big leagues. I've seen a huge jump in his prices, and if you wait similarly on your Ellie De La Cruz, when he gets hot, he's bound to get hot this year. I mean, it's so volatile that it's just going to spike. And like, I wish I sold. I had a Volpe card that I sold too early. I mean, I still did fine on it and made out and made a profit. But it's like, if you sell it when they're rising up and doing well, and obviously it's common sense, but I think if you were to sell it now, you wouldn't get as much if you sold it like during the season, or when he gets called up one level, or
Another
has a couple huge. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think unless there's news he gets to AAA, he's in AA, right? If he gets to AAA like in a month, that ought to get a bump. The Reds are so bad.
They're awful.
I can imagine him ending up on the major league roster just because the Reds are so bad.
Yeah, that plays his favor a lot and plays to your favor having that card.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
They're going to
you
give these
say
guys
that, but
chances.
did you say that? But this is my frustration with MLB baseball right now. There is no incentive to bring these young guys up. It's actually a disservice to their franchise for value to bring these guys up. That's why they just don't. They need to change. They need to make. I've heard rumors they're going to do this. The minimum payroll. I hope they go to that because it's embarrassing that the A's roster is whatever $1 million. It's a joke. But two, the best minor league players should be coming up, and we should see that talent in the MLB. It shouldn't be that teams save money by keeping them in the minors and keep control over them for longer. I that is frustrating me more than anything about MLB baseball right now. If you're a Pirates fan, a Reds fan, an A's fan, and your team isn't spending money, it's ludicrous. It's nonsense.
yeah. Yeah, I agree there. It's the rules need to change so that guys come up sooner than age 24 on average. That's just too late. I don't know. You think about it. Baseball is so different. You go NBA, guys are coming into the league at 19, 20. NFL 20, 21. Major League Baseball 20, 24 to 26 sometimes. If guys come up in their 20 year age 20 or 21 season, it's unheard of.
It's frustrating. It's gotten worse too. Like I get some guys aren't ready, and you want to develop guys, but I mean, like my Cubs last year. Come on, dude. You suck, and you got Matt Mervis, who's 24, 25 years old. He's just raking. Bring him up and see if he can hit the last month. And now you go into spring training, he's still hitting. The dude should be getting a chance. But that's just my pet peeve. But getting back on the Bowman's best track,
Bowman's best. Yep.
because
I was just
it's
gonna.
amazing. The ludicrous statements last year, and whoever put this out within the hobby, that Wander Franco's rookie card was in Bowman's best last year, is a total joke. Because as you can
Yeah.
see, the Wander Franco rookie card is in 2022 Bowman's best. That whole crazy run last year was just crazy. And
Nice.
speaking of which, my friend sent me a picture this morning. He pulled a red Wander auto out of Bowman's best this morning. What a monster.
When
My God.
Brett sends me the photo, it was numbered out of 10. So because I'm a humorous guy, ever humorous guy, I had my other phone and I played back in audio so I could send him an audio message of his call when he pulled the Wander 1 of 1. So then Brett hears the, oh yeah. It was so I was laughing as I was recording it. I couldn't hold back. I was like
Dude, that was epic.
He sends me the photo. I was like gonna send him the reply. I'm like, you'll get a kick.
I got to go back and watch that reaction. Holy shit.
It was too funny.
Have you seen
So-
those UFO parallels?
Dude, they look
Those look
amazing, man.
Really nice.
So that was
Wow.
that was the card.
Yeah, that's the
That's a
card I
rookie
said, John.
card, not the one.
Yeah, that's a card.
That's a baseball card.
Dude, I mean, what's your guys'? Neither one of us has opened the product, but believe me, I've watched enough case break recaps now and seen enough Facebook posts to see that like this. I've always liked the design of Bowman's Best. The quality is usually really good, and the checklist is great. I think they look amazing, and the inserts usually every year, the inserts are really cool, and I think they did a great job again this year.
Yeah, I agree. The classic inserts that come out of there are just nostalgic, and they do a really good job of making them pop. Good eye appeal. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to buy a box of that. I have never bought it before, so I guess I'm having a fear of missing out. I know Ped's got a box. He'll open it on his channel. Probably pull something amazing. And I could have got it from
We'll
my
see.
LCS and tops, and I skipped it just because I was trying to stay disciplined. So
Yeah,
You
no,
can
you
send
probably
those-
did the smart play. I mean, they're not cheap, but
yeah,
you know,
four
I passed
autos
on
though.
both. So
4 autos,
exactly.
pretty tight checklist. Feels like, yeah, even a bad box, you come away feeling pretty happy.
I agree with that. Yeah, the 4 autos, and also just the fact that you can get like rookie autos and these just like this narrower, like just top prospect autographs that, and even like veterans, you have a chance of getting like a Trout auto too, I'm pretty sure. So with the rookie class, you know, the checklist and 4 on-card autographs and the parallels and inserts, I think if you can get it for close to $300, it's worth it. But like Brett said, you start getting 350, close to 400. It's like you could probably buy like a Wander Franco like parallel rookie to 99 for like 150, $200, and you'll do way better. So it's like you got to kind of weigh that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've been in a Underground Case Breaks Facebook group since he started, and I just for craps and giggles went and looked at. I just searched 2018 Bowman's Best. He did like 30 cases that year, and
Oh my God.
that year I was buying the Braves every time for $80. The Braves were $80 for a case break. It's amazing how different 4 years makes of a product. The most expensive team was the Angels at $150, which now the big teams are all above $150 easily. in this, it's just amazing the difference. I was picking up the Twins for 25. Royce Lewis was in there. I was picking. It just, it's crazy how a few years has really changed the hobby. And if you could go back in time, 18 was an amazing year of baseball cards. It was so cheap and just picking up stuff. But I really like Bowman's Best every year, and I knew this year was going to be a monstrous year. It's just, dude, the rookie class is so good, and the prospects too.
Yeah, you're right. It's the convergence of a really good batch of prospects that have yet to hit the big leagues and a great rookie class. Well, I want to move on. Not that we don't have to, but I wanted to move on to another topic on baseball related is upcoming releases that have yet to come for that rookie class. One product we kind of could have been better last year. It was fun when it came out, but it has yet to come out. It's supposed to come out, I think, April 26th, and that's Platinum Anniversary with the 2022 rookie class 500 card checklist. 1953 design this year instead of 1952. What do you guys think about that? Is that one that you skip, you wait, you hope that they don't screw up quality?
Yeah, I remember I got one box last year. I was really excited about it, and it was kind of a letdown for me personally because my box, I don't know if it was like this across the board, but had a lot of like QC like surface scratches and issues like that on the cards, but the parallels did look really nice. Like I like the blue mini diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously the 52 tops is like an iconic design. And I think you were guaranteed, what was it, one autograph per box?
One auto per box.
So that was cool. So last year was just the QC was a little bit rough, but I like it overall, and I have a feeling it's going to be just because, like what Brett was saying, with the rookie class being so insane. Even if you don't get like a numbered parallel rookie, they still have like prisms and like X fractors that are pretty plentiful in the boxes, and that I think will hold some value. And obviously, if you get an autograph of one of the big rookies, I think it's steadily going to go up. Maybe not as fast as Series One, but I just think with it being like the last, I guess, like release and last chance to really get in on some 2022 product, I think people are going to be buying it up, and it's coming out right as the season's coming back, and the World Baseball Classic, and just the buzz around baseball is overall just super super high right now. So I think it'll be great, a great product. But obviously, we'll see when it comes out what actually happens. But curious to see what you guys think too.
Yeah, Brett, you want to go first?
Yeah, I want to buy some, but I want to see the odds. Obviously, I think anymore, I want to see the odds for every product, and it's super cool. Somebody mentioned, man, that mantle in last year's was amazing. I wonder what the price on that mantle is now because it was crazy when that product first came out. But I wouldn't mind getting a box or two.
Casey, one, I think he missed what we were talking about. We were talking about the Platinum Anniversary box with the 1953 design. Last year we had the 1952 design. It was the first year they did Platinum Anniversary. That product came out way too late. So yeah, Chrome Platinum Anniversary in the 1953 design this year with a better checklist arguably than the year prior, and 200 less cards in the set. So I agree with you, Brett. Print run matters a lot there. They had retail SKUs of that last year, which I think watered it down a lot. Mega boxes, I think they were like $50 or something at Target, or if you could have got them on Walmart or something. It's just too much. The price point now on pre-order is like $109 for the hobby box, and like I think $79 for a light box. If they cut back and don't do retail there and they have a decent pull rate, that might be a product that intrigues me. I'm going to wait and see on that, see if I can get more information on it. And then one other product, actually, who mentioned it was Woody mentioned Stadium Club Chrome. I forgot about that one, but actually I was checking blowout cards. I did see that one briefly. So we have yet to see Stadium Club Chrome for the class that we were talking about as well. So that is another product that's still to come. And he says there's going to be a retail version of it.
Yeah, I actually saw his comment, wrote it down so I could. Eddie, my boy Eddie today sent me a screenshot that Target's gonna have blasters. I see when those show up, but I want to see the odds. I want
I want to see
to
the
see.
odds. Yeah.
In 2020, I opened up like 100 blasters of Stadium Club Chrome. I love the Chrome Stadium Club. Stadium Club photographs are amazing, and there was tons of autographs in that product too of 2020. But again, I am leery of any retail product now. Um, but pick
Did
up some
anybody
hobby, you know.
Peds, you ever watch Up North Collectors?
Yeah, yeah, I watched them. I used to watch them a good amount. I've been just haven't watched them too much of it, really any specific person lately, but they always do a great job and really big fan of their channel and their videos. Did they open something like that recently, or did they
They opened 24 retail blasters of Series 1.
really?
How many numbered cards do you think they pulled in 24 blasters?
Oh my God, I could just see where this is going. I'm gonna guess they pulled 6 numbered cards.
You would be high.
No.
4.
No way. That's a travesty. That is unbelievable,
2
man.
golds,
Yeah,
one
that's
2 golds, 1 numbered relic, and 1 advanced stats. That was it.
yeah, there's never been a year or like a time where a product where I like completely just write off retail right away. But like this is almost like embarrassing how bad the odds are and now you kind of have to be careful before you buy any new product and check the odds because I mean, even with Stadium Club Chrome, I think you're only guaranteed 1 autograph per box. If you're
Right.
paying like 140, 150 for a hobby box, and like you're like the chances of even getting 1 or 2 numbered cards is like slim to none. Like that's just like you're just ripping money in half. You're just
You're
flushing money
just
down the toilet and
yeah,
falling into their trap. So I mean, I
I,
did see this. I think I saw somebody. Sorry, cutting you off, but I saw
no,
somebody
no.
said the regular Stadium Club blasters this year were actually really good, and I did see that too. I didn't open any personally, but I saw some crazy hits coming out of those. I just can't imagine that they're going to be as good odds as that, and that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I I am skeptical about any retail release from this point forward. After what they did to Series 1, I thought, wow, you are really you're making everybody second guess whether it's worth it. And it's it's okay if you buy 1 or 2 and that, but at least give some people a chance. I can't believe the sample size of 24 and basically, um, I think it was Eric was saying relics don't count as numbered cards. So I guess they only pulled 3 numbered cards
Oh
out of
my god,
if I can't
I can't
count the
imagine.
relic,
Yeah,
which is a black out of 299, I could say they had 3 numbered cards in 24 boxes. that, is, that is so bad. It
yeah.
was
And what do they? Yeah,
oh my goodness. I mean that is awful.
and you're still
It
paying
is.
what, 25, $30 a blaster?
25 bucks a box, yeah. I mean
It's so.
that's just
It's
throwing
so
your money
bad.
down a toilet.
If if people didn't hear me during my last couple lives on Thursday after school, I went to my Meijer. The boxes were there. The lady was there. I know her. Talked to her. I was kind of hoping there'd be some Meijer blisters. I had a $10 off coupon for 50 bucks or more. It was buy one, get one half off at Meijer. Now, Meijer products are more expensive than Target. Um, and I walked out of there buying zero, zilcho, nothing, nada. And she's like, "You're not going to buy anything?" I said, "No." And there was another guy there too. And it was a full restock. And there was a lot of Series 1. I'm like, I am not buying this stuff, even at buy one, get one half off. The biggest card addict out there. I told my coworker, it's like you're a drug addict and you go to the street and somebody's giving you free drugs, but you know they're bad, so you're not going to take them. I literally walked away, which is crazy.
You know, Anthony brings up a good point, and I have started to notice this a little bit. I don't know if it'll be the same in basketball, but the football products, Zenith, I know none of us really open any football, but Zenith and Rookies and Stars, I've been seeing on average about one numbered card per box, which it was the complete opposite for retail last year, where Topps was giving pretty good chance at hits later in the year. And then Panini was like all watered down, like total garbage. And now it seems like it's sort of flipping a little bit. I don't know if that trend will continue, but that is a good point by Anthony there on Panini. I did notice that from some of the videos I watched, that Panini retail seems to have better chance at numbered cards now, at least this year. But it's a bad rookie class, so they have to do something to get you to buy it, because people still want to hype Brock Purdy. I went on a tirade about Brock Purdy on my channel months ago and said I think he's way overhyped and, you know, fine. But people are still trying to hype him up as like he's the chase in the product. It's like he had a magical run and it stopped because he got hurt. We don't know what's going to happen next. He was not a generational talent. He was in the right position with a team that had a championship defense and a championship running game. Who knows if that's going to continue? So that's another thing to be always mindful of, is like when the chase stops because the magic ended, then what? Does the magic continue, or what do we do then? And so I think a lot of times you have to use history as a frame of reference. And I don't know if you're an East Coaster, but Nick Foles came to mind. Whenever I think of Brock Purdy, I think of that magical season that Nick Foles had, but obviously the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year. But then after that, Nick Foles was just back to being Nick Foles. And now he's practically out of the league. And when I think Brock Purdy, I think, yeah, he could have got there, but really he's just Nick Foles.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the perfect storm for him. And he had, however many 6 to 8, games where he was good enough and made good passes and did his job, and made a couple big plays when it mattered, and that really created that sense of this is like the dude. But like you said about Nick Foles, that guy even went and won the Super Bowl, and now look at him, like you said, look at him now. He's barely scraping by in the league, and I can't imagine his cards are anywhere near where they were at when he won it. So,
well, I look at it this way. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. I think he was the MVP that year. You can buy his rookie auto for like $70. People were paying close to $1,000 for Brock Purdy when he'd won 4 games, which is crazy. It's crazy. It's like, guys, the best case scenario, this guy's probably Nick Foles. Maybe he wins the Super Bowl because he's in the right place at the right time. But he's not a generation.
Yeah. And didn't he hurt his arm too?
Yeah, he basically had Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, so that's a huge issue. I mean, that's your main asset. Your arm is the most important thing as a quarterback, as it is being a pitcher. And that's not something that you can just throw some ice on and be 100% the next day. You got to go through all this rehab, and you really got to work your way back, and it takes a lot of time for that to heal. And there's nothing you can really do aside from just resting it. I mean, there's obviously exercise to build the muscle around it, but you have to reassure yourself that he's going to be able to come back and have a healthy arm. Like Josh Allen kind of had an arm injury, and as the season went on, I didn't see that. I mean, obviously he still has a huge arm, but the accuracy wasn't as good, and you saw that in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that elbow injury hurt him, and it wasn't it that he couldn't play. It just, you could tell it probably was hurting him.
Exactly.
Hey, 2 things. I got one for Peds.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I forgot this. I don't know how I didn't have it on my list. But my Bears, the trade. First of all, Nick, at the show, did Fields stuff go up in price, or was there a lot of buzz around Fields now? And what do you think about the Bears Panthers trades, guys?
I think the
I
Bears got
honestly
a good
didn't see.
deal.
I didn't even see the. I didn't even see the trade, to be honest. I'm not really as in the loop with football, so you'd have to fill me in on that.
Yeah, the Bears traded their number one pick to the Panthers. Um, the Bears got first round this year and next year. They got
Wow.
DJ Moore, wide receiver, who is a really good wide receiver. I feel like, as a Bears fan, I feel like the Bears just crushed it on this trade.
Oh, for sure. They and you know what? They had Fields, not that we don't know enough about Fields to know if he's going to be the next best thing. He looked like he had, flashes of goodness last year. As much as he was really bad early in the year, he was coming around. He was coming into his own. So to pair him up with better wide receivers, better weapons, and get multiple first and second round picks for it, I think it's a win for the Bears because they weren't going to draft a quarterback anyway. So that was like a no brainer. They had the number one pick, and it's like yeah, they did, right? I can't remember if it was them
Yeah,
or Houston. I think it was them, right?
yeah, Bears had number one pick.
So
Thanks to Lovie Smith.
they weren't going to need a quarterback. So trade out of the pick. And it was going to be the Panthers, the Colts, or somebody else that was going to trade up to that spot. And yeah, Colts have a new head coach, and I expected them to make some moves, but it looks like they're probably going to stay put at like 4 or 5 wherever they are, and hope that one of the guys maybe drops to them, but I doubt it will.
Yeah, as a Bears fan, I'm pretty excited. I knew Poles, the GM, just could not trade Fields because if you're putting your head on a chopping block if you trade that guy. If you trade him and he's good, you're gonna get fired quicker than trying to rebuild the long way, you know? So I think he did a great job of committing to a young quarterback who obviously has some amazing skills running the football. Now they need to get some weapons, and they got one. Can they? And they're free agent. They got a ton of money. So I'm excited for Bears football. I still don't think they're going to be that good next year, but it, it it just takes some draft picks to change the team. I'm looking forward to NFL football now.
Well,
It'll be fun.
Eric said it correct. The Colts are screwed. They're screwed because Jim Irsay is their owner, and Jim Irsay is a flake. I don't know. Shane Steichen, hopefully he does well, but man, that franchise is dysfunctional. It's bad. But local radio rips the Colts up and down. They're just like, Jim Irsay just needs to stay in his lane and stop trying to be a GM. He's not good.
Yeah.
So
Hey, before we move on to some NBA, John, your
yeah,
forte. Peds, you met a Mets player, former Mets player, recently.
Y- I did. I did. I was in Port St. Lucie a couple weeks ago for spring training on vacation, and it was just an incredible experience all around. I had gone the last year, the previous year, when the lockout was going on. I tried going to watch some like private workouts, and the security guards like, yeah, like nobody's allowed in, and we went all that way, and we weren't able to see anything. So, we scheduled the same trip this year and went down, and it was incredible. I was there for the whole week. I went to 2 days of like open workouts where you can go right up on a fence and watch the players take batting practice and field grounders, work with the coaches, all these base running drills. And then I went to two games at Port St. Lucie. One was against the Astros, and one was against the Braves. So it was pretty incredible. The first game I sat like right by the third base line, so I was right in front of watching Brett Beatty and Ronnie Mauricio, and Beatty obviously has a rookie card in Series One, so it was pretty sweet to see him. He played really well. He was one of the only guys that was really barreling the ball and had some huge hits. I mean, and I was surprised by the size of him. I didn't realize how big he was till you see him in person. Just being so close and seeing him and playing alongside Mauricio and Lindor, it was really exciting. And then Brandon actually in the chat had a hookup. He knows David Peterson's mom,
Oh wow.
the pitcher for the Mets. So like he helped me. He got me these awesome tickets for the game against the Braves, and so I was actually sitting like right behind home plate, like 2 rows up, and it was actually in the area where like I guess a lot of the players' family sits because like in front of me was Mets draft picks, Kevin Parada's like dad and parents, and like, and then to my right was Carlos Carrasco's dad, which was incredible,
That's cool.
and to my left was like Alonso's like grandpa and stuff, and about the third or fourth inning, like all of a sudden there's all this commotion. We see like David Wright walking down by like the walkway, and we're like, holy crap, that's David Wright. And we start taking pictures. I'm like, yeah, he's just mob. I'm not gonna get, not gonna get to meet him or anything. And then like I was like, screw it. So me and my sisters went down there, and he actually like kind of like hung around for a little while to like sign autographs. And I got to like shake his hand and say like, hey, David, like my idol growing up. Thanks for everything you did for the Mets. And it was just an incredible, incredible moment. Just like meeting my childhood hero. So couldn't have gone any better.
That is cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Thanks for bringing that up, Brett. Both the David Wright thing and just spring training in general. Before we get to any NBA talk, MLB season preview. I had that on my list of things to talk about. Maybe touch on that briefly. What teams you got your eye on? What players you got your eye on here coming up in the month of April and beyond? Peds, what do you think?
I mean, I got my hands full with the NL East. I feel like our division is so stacked with the Braves having these young guys, Harris, Vaughn Grisham, Strider, everybody else locked in for like the next 10 years. And the Phillies obviously adding Trey Turner. They're going to be a force. And so, we got our work cut out for us. And the Marlins are no slouch either. But there's so many unbelievable teams this year. it's going to be I'm interested to see how it shakes out. I think the Padres with Tatis coming back is going to be really interesting. I think they'll be really strong. And then I'm probably missing a couple other teams, but um, obviously defending World Series champions, the Astros are going to be incredible. I think the Orioles are going to be have a big step up with all their Adley and everybody, and the Yankees should be good. The Rays. And I'm probably missing a couple teams, but I think there's a lot of really, really strong talent and spread all throughout the league where there's going to be some really good competition, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it shakes out.
Yeah, I will say the parity in the league this year, even though you mentioned like a division like the NL East is so stacked, it seems like there's a lot of parity overall. Like anybody can really win it. I
Yeah,
think, like many times in baseball, a lot of it comes down to pitching. And so the ones with the best pitching staff, 1 to 5, are probably going to end up doing well. So in the NL East, who of those teams has probably the best pitching?
that's a great question. I mean, I think the Phillies have really, really strong pitching. They have, Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, and those guys are like, really, really strong 1-2 punch. But then I also like the Mets rotation a lot. Obviously, on paper, it's great, but there's also a lot of like question marks. Max Scherzer kind of ran out of gas last year, but if you look at the Mets rotation on paper, you got Verlander, Scherzer, Kodai Senga, and then I think Quintana's actually hurt right now, so they might have to mix in like Tyler McGill and David Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the Mets like first 3-4 starters. I think they're going to be incredible. And then the Braves should be having Mike Soroka coming back. So Strider, Soroka, Max Fried. I mean that's a pretty, and Ian Anderson. He kind of had a sophomore slump, but we saw what he did in his freshman season. Pretty strong. The Marlins have Sandy Alcantara. So there's pitching. I like the Mets the best, as long as their bullpen can hold up, because obviously these games come down to the wire. So as long as Diaz has a nice, strong season closing again, I think that'll be a big deciding factor. So
I've got three things I want to watch this year. One, I'm going to watch my Cubbies more. I think they're going to be more competitive. I don't expect them to be over 500, but they could if they get some pitching, which they don't have any pitching. So that could get ugly. That's my first story that I'm going with. Second one, I want to see at the end of the season, Wilson Contreras, how he handles the Cardinals rotation and see the difference that Yadier Molina makes as a catcher compared to Wilson, because there's been a lot more. I knew there was a reason they were shopping Wilson Contreras around. Him and David Ross weren't getting along, and his stats are not good at handling pitching staffs. If you watch enough Cubs baseball, the guy doesn't steal strikes, and there are strikes that he makes look bad that are called balls. The Cubs would have been a team with an automated strike zone that would be immediately better, because Wilson can hit and Wilson can throw, but he just can't frame and get strikes. It's so those advanced stats. I'm looking forward to the end of the season for Cardinals to see if their ERAs go up because he doesn't steal those strikes. Because one pitch can make a difference in every at bat. Plain and simple. It's huge. And then my third one, Pets hit on it. I've been waiting for the Padres. I want to see that. I mean, that with Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, and Soto. My God. I mean, if you're a Padres fan, you got to be so pumped to watch four absolute studs. And they got more guys than that, too, which is crazy. That lineup's going to be nasty.
Yeah, top to bottom, that's going to be the strongest offense in the league. I don't know what will happen to my Brewers this year. I think they pissed off Corbin Burns too much. They did have one of the best pitching staffs in the league. I think they're going to probably take a step back this year. Although I do think that they've got some really good talent coming up. It's just a matter of getting to the majors. So, yeah, I don't know what will happen there. And I still think, the Dodgers were good last year. They were right there, but they blew it in the big moment. I'm not completely writing the Giants off yet. I think the Giants they were right there last year at one point in the season, but then they kind of fizzled, I think, down the stretch. I don't know. There's anything can happen in baseball depending on injuries and like I said, pitching staff. So I think the Giants could surprise some teams a little bit, and I don't know. I'd like to see the Royals or the Mariners be good this year. I think that would be good for baseball cards.
Yeah. There's a couple other ones. Somebody mentioned Wander and the Rays. Is he going to have a comeback year? The other one, if you guys have any Jordan Walker autographs, Bowman 2020 Bowman draft guys, this is a good time to be selling his card because it has gone straight up. His stuff has gone way up, guys. So that's another interesting story. Is he going to get called up? Probably not, but who knows? He could.
Who knows? Yeah, anything can happen depending on a team's strength and whether they want to tank or not. Early in the season, every team thinks they got a chance. So
I know one of my friends sent me a message like, "Pull out your Jordan Walkers," and I'm like, "Dude, I didn't open any 2020 Bowman draft because at that time that was the peak of wax prices. Those hobby boxes at that time were so expensive, couldn't get your hands on them. But I can't wait, man. I can't believe end of the month is coming, and we'll have opening day.
definitely, it's going to be a fun month. It's going to be a long month. Brett, I didn't cut my grass today. I dethatched it. I was going to cut my grass today because Indiana grass was starting to grow early. It made me think of baseball season, made me think of golf season. I was like, I am itching to cut grass because that means spring is right around the corner.
It's crazy. I got
Like,
snow on the ground, man.
What are you talking about? I'm like, I got green grass in my backyard.
Speaking of which, did you guys see how much snow Lake Tahoe got, man?
No.
It was wild. I had a girl
Didn't
that I went
see
to high school with on Facebook, and she went live, and she was posting pictures. I don't know the amount of snow they got, but it was It was ungodly, man. I mean, they're shoveling their roofs off, snows to covering up the whole houses. It was insane how much snow they've got in that last week.
They can get some. I mean, obviously in those mountain elevations, especially Tahoe or Yosemite, I lived out there for 2 years, and I think one of the years we were out there, they had a big snowstorm, and they get 4 feet in like a day. They can get a ton of snow, like an absolute, like what happened to Buffalo, where they had 77 inches. Or so, they can get that like a lot. If the moisture and like the way the cold air masses kind of clash over those mountains right before Nevada, it can get pounded. So yeah.
Hey, here's one from Eric. He says rule changes could really help the league. From watching a couple Cubs spring training games and seeing some highlights, I did not think that pitch clock would help baseball at all. But man, dude, I love it. Dudes are on the mound, guys are in the box, and they're pitching the ball, man. As a former catcher, I couldn't stand dudes who freaking just work so. I'd be like, get the damn ball and throw it and throw a strike, please. And I mean, guys are just. It's going to be an endurance test for some of it's, because in the past years, man, guys could get the ball, walk around, and get ready for every pitch. Now, man, dude, they're on the mound and they're throwing. The guys are gonna have to be in shape this year to throw the ball. I like that rule change. I don't know. Have you guys seen much or watched any?
I haven't watched any yet.
Well, you went to a game, Peds.
Yeah, no, I've been watching it, and I'm for it as well. Obviously, it's unfortunate. Like I know on the other side of the argument, like when a game ends on a call where the batter wasn't ready in time, so that it's an automatic strike. That's kind of a bummer because you don't. The whole point of baseball and the whole adage is there's no clock in baseball, and it's a lot of mind games and strategy. But I do think that the players are going to adapt extremely quickly. I've heard through the grapevine that the minor leaguers had no problems getting used to it. I mean, you play so many games a year. When you do it over every single day, I think that they're going to be, they're going to be used to it within a month, if not sooner. I really agree with your point with all the unnecessary, like walking around the mound in between pitches and calling timeout, and we used to we call them those pitchers like a human rain delay, where they just extend the game. It's like that's so much dead time that is just wasted. And having and being a fielder, and like you said, as you were a catcher, Brett, like there's nothing more frustrating than the pitcher taking forever or these lulls in action, because when you're a fielder or you want to be on the balls of your feet, you want them to be some good tempo in the game, so you're not just like lulling yourself to sleep. And when there's constant action, catch the ball, get on the mound, get the sign, go. Everybody's more in tune, everybody's more alert, and it's just better all around, I think, for the game. I think it'll help, if players overthink stuff. For guys like Kelnick, I mean, just get up, go, swing, do the thing. And the games are much quicker, and I think it's going to be a really good addition for the game.
That's a really strong point you brought up about players and just kind of getting in the moment and not thinking too much and just going. For players that sort of overthink, with all that time up there, too many bad thoughts creep in. I think there will be something to that.
100%. I think that we're already seeing like these games are like 30 minutes quicker than, already than they're like 2.5 hours. And it's not like the games are 0-0. They're like, it's a 9-6 game, and they still finish in like 2.5 hours. So there's all this action, but it's just so much more efficient that it's they're able to just, keep it going. And I think that's the best way to do it, the future of the game. So we'll see. Obviously, there's going to be some pushback to any new rule changes, and especially when you have multiple rule changes happening at once. I mean, it's not that they're just adding the pitch clock. Like, there's no more shift. The bases are bigger. like you can only throw over to first a handful of times. Like people are like, "What are you doing to the game?" Because they don't like change. But I think overall, it's the best thing to do.
No, I agree. I think not that you're trying to make the game in fast, kind of fast forward motion, but you want it to be on pace with like an NBA basketball game where it takes like 2 hours and 20 minutes to finish. No matter how many timeouts are called, it always seems to take about 2 hours and 20 minutes unless it goes to overtime. And so NFL had gotten too long and baseball had gotten far too long as far as the games go. So I think cutting it back to that 2.5 to 2 hours and 40 minutes is perfect. People can get in, get out, have a good time, watch some good offense, good defense, good pitching, and like you said, just move on and go back home or wherever. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, and especially when you're playing 162 games in a season too. It's like with football, I understand, it's you play one game a week, so if there's a little, in between action, that's not really going to bother fans. But when you're playing every single day, I think that even further, exaggerates the need to make it, faster tempo, just get it and go type of game. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, Brett, you want me to touch on NBA or we want to leave that for
We
the
we could do some NBA, but dude, what is going on with John? What's up with these guns, man?
you know, I I guess Denver, like the Colorado said they weren't going to press any charges. They didn't find him like criminally responsible for anything. So I don't want to say that's good. I mean, it's good, but it's still bad what he did. It's still problematic. He has no reason to do that. Like it just makes absolutely no sense when you think of all the things that guy has going for him. Like the last thing he should do is brandish a weapon in a nightclub. Like, yeah, sure,
Yeah, I got some
you
questions.
do
Like,
you, but
is
that's not
it,
something that you should do as
yeah,
a
yeah.
pro basketball player who makes, it was supposed to be the face of the league and you're doing dumb crap like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I have questions like, okay, is he a legal gun carrying owner? That does make a difference to me, but you can't have it out. Has the commissioner made a statement about this? I have not caught anything.
nothing, no.
Where's the commissioner? I know the team was proactive, and I don't know how many games he's going to miss here, but where is the commissioner making a statement on this? I'm blown away that he hasn't talked. I thought maybe I just missed it, but if you own John Morant cards and you have a lot of money into them, you should be really worried.
Oh, I totally agree. I think I haven't seen too many people make a video on that one, but can you imagine having the world, like some of these guys have the world's biggest Zion collection, Derek Jeter, Mike Trout. Can you imagine being a Ja Morant super collector right now? Or, Andrew Luck was a great example back in the day with football. And then he retired, right? So can you imagine having I mean, there's a guy out there that has probably $500,000 to $1 million invested in Ja Morant cards. It's pretty safe to say there's probably a guy that has that. Can you imagine being that guy and you're like, oh my God, like what are you doing? Like, I know it's not all about the cards, but like, what are you doing? Like, that's crazy. Well, I'd say it really makes people second guess whether you want to speculate or not because so many things can go wrong. And
yeah, yeah, it's
yeah,
ridiculous. Like throw injuries aside, throw like performance enhancing drugs aside. This is like a whole new animal. Like this isn't even like he wasn't good enough, so he had to take PEDs, or he literally has the whole world in his hands, and you know came from a great family and had a great upbringing. And it's like you're not supposed to go backwards. You're supposed to like inspire people to do good in the world and set a good example for everyone else. And it's just sad that I've heard, I don't know what stories are true, what are not. I've heard, I don't know if he had some like, didn't he have like a cashier had like an altercation with his mom, and I don't know if he was accused of beating some like teenager up a couple years ago, and it's like, what are you doing? Like that doesn't mean like doesn't make you tough at all. Like
no, even
It's just mind-boggling.
when I can imagine when you're a pro athlete, you become a target. People want any chance they can to make a buck off you or get famous off of you. And so you have to be on your utmost, good behavior and out of those situations. So you just like nothing good happened. What was it? Tony Dungy used to say, like when he was the coach of the Colts, nothing good happens after midnight. And it's so true. Nothing
100%.
good happens from these situations. It can only be bad.
Never.
There is no good that can come from that. As much as it's a release or whatever, you're asking for trouble.
Shotty Moore said in the comments, screw the cards, he's my favorite young player. Like, this is my frustration. I have lost interest in NBA basketball over a pretty good span. It used to be everything when I was a kid growing up as a Jordan fan, watching the All-Star game. I've gravitated towards the college game. And then John Morant and Zion kind of sucked me back in a little bit. And I mean, earlier this year, John Morant almost had his dunk, and I was watching, and like I've never felt inclined to turn on NBA games recently, but this year I'm like, I'm gonna watch this game for a while. And I'm like, this kid's an incredible talent. And for this to happen, it just makes me want to be like, I'm not going to waste my time with NBA. Like, dude, and the NBA ratings are not good. Their viewership is down.
Yeah, well, I don't watch a ton of different teams. I watch two or three primary teams, and I'll stick to those 2-3 primary teams. I watch the Warriors, I watch the Kings, and I watch the Bucks. Bucks because I grew up in Wisconsin. Warriors because I lived near there. Kings because I'm a De'Aaron Fox fan. So I don't really watch anybody else besides that. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess we can touch on NBA briefly, and then we'll do our box battle. And then Peds probably wants to eat dinner or have a fun night. Maybe there's a trade night going on that they could walk down to.
Yeah, I think I'm all at gas, but but yeah, I think there is a trade night. But yeah, whatever you guys want to do, I got all the time in the world. Got nowhere to be, so.
Yeah, so NBA playoffs, I was going to touch on that briefly like I did last week. We were 1 week removed from the All-Star break last week, I think, when I touched on it. But as far as the standings go, we still got the Bucks and Celtics on top in the East. The Sixers with Embiid and Harden are right there, and then the Cavs are in the 4th spot. I think those are going to be your top 4 seeds in the East. It just matters which order they're in. The Bucks are sitting some guys. Giannis is out tonight against the Warriors. Middleton's back, so I think the Bucks are going to be pretty solid. I think they'll probably retain the number 1 spot, no worse than number 2. And then in the West, this is where things get wild. The Nuggets are up top with Jokic, probably going to win his 3rd MVP. The Kings, my Sacramento Kings, and De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis are in the number 2 spot right now, tied with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are without Ja Morant. And then you've got that whole cluster of teams that really did moves at the trade deadline. You've got the Clippers, the Mavericks, the Warriors, the T-Wolves, the Lakers. I think anything can happen. Again, in the top of the West, I think you're probably going to see the Nuggets and the Kings are probably going to stay in the top 4 seeds. It's going to be hard to unseat the Nuggets in the number 1 seed, but I think the Kings retain a top 4. And then I think pick 2 of these teams. I think pick the Suns, the Warriors, or the Clippers. And 2 of those 3 teams will probably be the 3 and 4 seed, or 2, 3, or 4 seed. So up top in the West, I think you're going to have the Nuggets, the Kings, the Suns, Clippers, or Warriors. And last week I said I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors make another finals run just because they're the Warriors. You can't ever underestimate the heart of a champion. And I was picking the Warriors and the Bucks. Not much has changed. The Warriors and the Bucks play tonight, though, so this might give us a preview, but Giannis isn't playing, so we'll have to put that one on ice for a bit.
I didn't hear you mention
Yeah,
my Bulls.
Yeah, your Bulls are in number 11 right now at 30-36. They're right ahead of the Pacers. So, and who's your team, Pads? Who would be your team? You said the Brooklyn Nets. They're in the number
yeah,
5 seed right now. With
yeah,
all those guys gone, they're still hanging on to the number 5, but the Knicks and the Heat and the Hawks are nipping right at their heels.
yeah. I don't think this is the Nets' year by any means, but I do think now they're kind of headed in the right direction. I like the guys they got in return to trade. You know, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson have been really playing extremely well. I like the coach that they have. I think he's really, really resonates with the players and has a high basketball IQ. And I think they got the right, they're going in the right direction. But they don't really have a chance to go deep in the playoffs. I think the Bucks and the Celtics are going to be the favorites out of the East.
Yep.
Kind of, the favorites, obviously. But like you said, with Middleton coming back and Giannis, I mean, the size and physicality of the Bucks is tough to overcome. And the Celtics kind of have to play with that same physicality as well. They have, I mean, the Celtics have Tatum, uh,
Brown.
Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford. I think Horford is huge. He can hit a three and he can play in the post. And that's something I don't know if the Warriors are going to be able to I think they're going to get out rebound because I'm not I don't know basketball as well, but I don't think that they have the defense and the height to keep up with the Bucks. But could be wrong. And I think the Kings and Nuggets will have a fair chance as well at winning it. So that's what I think.
Being a Kings fan, tonight's game is a really good indication for me. The Suns and the Kings play for the third time. The Kings have not played well against the Suns at all this year. This is a big game for the Kings. If they can beat the Suns tonight, even though Kevin Durant's not playing because he got hurt already, it sets the stage for things to come for the Kings, and it tells me they could have a chance to go a little bit deeper in the playoffs than just making it. I'd love to see it. I think it'd be awesome to see Fox in the Western Conference Finals. I think he's an electric player. He can't shoot from outside, but who gives a crap? The guy's, I don't know if you follow basketball. He is leading the league in every single statistical category for clutch this year. Everything across the board in the fourth quarter. He's the best player by far in the fourth quarter.
Wow,
number
I did not
one
know that.
across the board. Field goal percentage, points, steals, all the clutch statistics. He's number one in every single category this year in the fourth quarter. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's oftentimes the deciding factor in a game, that last shot, those last couple plays. So
Somebody mentioned March Madness in the chat. That would be a whole segment on its own. Selection Sunday tomorrow. I've been watching some Big Ten tournament games. I think this year it's anybody's game. There's no just team that you could say is gonna win it this year. It's crazy. I love March Madness. One of these years, I've never been to Vegas. I want to go out during the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, the opening rounds, and go just put some $5 bets on a bunch of games and enjoy Vegas.
You should just come to Indiana. You can do it from your phone.
That's true. You can do it anywhere, but I've never been to Vegas, man. I've never been to Vegas. It's the point of going there and doing it.
I mean, sports betting is legal here. I don't think it is in Illinois or Wisconsin, so you gotta drive to Indiana for that.
You can, but you can't in Illinois. You can't bet on Illinois basketball games.
That's weird.
Like the college. I don't know about. I think you can bet on the pro sports, but you can't bet on the in-state like the Northwestern and stuff like that. My friend was telling me. But man, there's been a lot of good chat in here tonight. There's been a lot of good topics. I even wrote down a couple more for next week. I mean, there's Aaron Rodgers talk.
Oh yeah,
I like that. I'm a huge Jets fan.
Yeah.
Hey,
fingers crossed.
I'm a Packers fan. Guess what? You guys can have them.
Thank you.
You can have them. take him.
Anybody but Zach Wilson.
I am
No
so
punter.
sick and tired of him. I
Yeah, I know he's definitely an interesting individual, but as long as he can just play quarterback at 70 to 80% of what he's been capable of, I'm happy with that. As long as he can, just play a little above average quarterback, that's all I care. Just don't cause any off the field problems.
yeah,
John,
if
as a
he can,
team fan of the Bears who's has had a revolving door of quarterbacks, you might not want to say that right now because in 20 years after you watch a bunch of bad quarterbacks, you're going to go, please, can I get a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre? You guys have been so spoiled. He's got some good years left in him.
he does.
I think he does, and I think Love is going to be good for you guys, though.
I think Jordan Love needed that extra year. I think if he would have been in more games last year, he actually wouldn't have been that bad. And so I think he's better than what Zach Wilson was, and yeah,
Easily.
he needed to play. They needed to
Yes.
find out what they had. It's the same way that when they got Aaron Rodgers to play the first time when Favre was hemming and hawing over retirement and ended up on the Jets, ironically enough.
Yeah.
And it's the history repeats itself. So they needed to find out what they had in Jordan Love. They had to get rid of. They had to move on from Aaron Rodgers. He is a good quarterback. He is, statistically, he'll go down as one of the better quarterbacks ever. Not sold on him in the playoffs, but he did win a championship when it was unexpected for Green Bay. He did have a lot of great seasons, and if this is his last time in a Packers uniform, it will be sad to see him go. But overall, I think most Packer fans were ready to move on. I think after last year, we were just like, okay, I think we know what we're going to get. I don't care if we stink. I'm sick and tired of seeing that, which to me, I said it's a loss in the divisional round plus or minus one game. That's what we were getting. It's a loss. It's basically either miss the playoffs, barely make the wild card, losing the championship, but most likely losing the divisional round. That's what you're getting.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I said the same thing about Lovie Smith. And gosh darn, after you go through the agony of being pathetic, you wish Lovie Smith would have kept getting into the playoffs because
that's fair.
His brutality watching bad football. Seriously, I did the same thing. Me and my friend are like, remember we used to just badmouth Lovie because the offense sucked so much. We'd go to the playoffs and lose. I would have died for that the last however many years he's been gone because the Bears have been pathetic. Anyway, what do you think about?
We can do a box battle, but I want to answer Justin's question. Justin EDC, gambling on WWE matches. That's a new one. I'm not much of a wrestling guy, but that seems like, I don't know, that could be rather interesting.
No way, it's scripted. Get the script from behind the scenes, man.
Yeah.
Insider info, dudes.
All right, I ripped my box. We're only doing one tonight. We're
Just
not going to do double or nothing.
And we got an official.
Back upstairs.
It could come down to a base card.
Theory of Dooness, though. Last week's boxes were kind of meh. So I think we need some good luck tonight. I had my PSA 10 Ellie sitting on it the whole time. I hope it doesn't let me down. I'm looking for better than a vet gold. And I'm due for a short print.
Yeah, my last blasters weren't all that great last week or even my opening this week. So opening for short print. How about that SSP one time for Peds? If one of us pulls the SSP of Julio, you're taking your shirt off and running around.
We'll be like, what's the guy's name? Blez, right?
Backyard breaks. You got to get your hula hoop on and coconut bikini if you want to do the backyard breaks.
I got an Independence Day.
Oh boy, that could be big.
I'm gonna let that sit.
That could be
Independence
big.
Day
That could be big.
during the World Baseball Classic. Let's go.
World Baseball Classic. Is Wainwright pitching right now or something happened? I'm getting some messages from
I
another
pulled
group.
2 Independence Days in update. I pulled a Hunter Green and I pulled a Matt Strom.
Hunter Green is big. That's a really big card.
By the way, KC Card Connection made a dono earlier, and he is going to go live, and he's going to open some more product right after this. So if you guys are looking for something to do, KC's going live. What are you opening, KC? He's in the chat right now. So far, I got nothing in this box, really. Oh, this might be a short print. Son of a biscuit.
Is it?
It is a short print. It's not a good one, but it is a short print.
Sonny Gray. I got that one.
Sonny Gray.
There's.
Good looking card.
Box.
But that's not the short print we're looking for.
No, I'm
Speaking
hoping
of
my
which,
Independence Day is big. I'm letting it
I've got
marinate.
I've got a couple Julio.
Another
short
Hunter
prints.
Green would be nice color match, and the Ellie deliver that one. That'd be sweet. Nick Lodolo, that'd be another sweet one. All right, I got J-Rod base. I'm hoping that's not my biggest card because that Independence Day, like I said, could be huge. A rookie in an Independence Day would be huge. Any of the rookies. It could be a Bryson Stott, and it would be pretty big. Just anything but a vet base or a vet card.
I'm hoping for a 2-hit box here.
I want to win tonight. I don't want to just win on a double. I want to win in an absolute grand slam.
He wants a monster.
I want a moonshot. Like,
I want to put up a crooked number.
So I don't know, man. I think at Independence Day parallel, I have a feeling the Sonny Gray short print is only like $3 to $5 at the most at this point. So that Independence Day, I almost feel like any Independence Day is immediately $5 or more.
what if I
And
had?
if it's
Can you imagine that?
if it's a J-Rod, John's gonna be screaming.
If it is, I am. My relic was O'Neal Cruz. That's not bad.
Retail blue, Chris Bryant, and a vintage stock in this one.
Got a vintage
Ooh.
stock. Ooh, man, you're making it tough.
Not a rookie. Dang.
Iglesias?
Yeah. Not a rookie. So, man, what a box, dude. That's why update is so amazing.
All right, come on,
And
one time.
Series
One
1
time.
is trash bags.
What did you get for a vintage stock? You said some trash.
Jose Iglesias.
Oh, okay.
Vintage stock out of 99. Not a rookie.
All right, should I just let the smile on my face dictate whether I had a monster or not?
Let's see, buddy.
Oh shit, it's the right color.
Uh-oh.
Seattle. You got like 5 guys on Seattle it could be.
No,
And it's not.
the Marlins.
Who is it?
It's a rookie.
Oh,
Well, that's good.
What team?
It's Joe Dunano for the Marlins, rookie.
Hey, man, that's not that bad. At
Rookie,
least he's a
man.
rookie. Got
Fun
some
fact,
potential.
A-Rod's cousin.
Well, that beat my box, John. You're a winner. We don't even need Feds to officiate that one.
That way, wrong way. I think John wins that one.
Man, dude, update just
I feel like I won it by default, though. That was not a moonshot. That was.
dude, it's still
it was-
dude, it's an Independence Day parallel rookie.
I know.
I'm stoked with my box. A blaster box for $25, you get a freaking short print and a freaking vintage stock. Plus
Is
a
his name-
Julio.
Does his name end in a D or an O?
It's a
Is it-
D, I think.
Is it not Dunano? It's what is it?
Denand.
Denand. Joe Denand. Okay, I was saying it
I think he
wrong.
played
Joe
for
DeNan.
NC State. I think he's on the Braves now because I saw him at spring. Yeah, he was playing in the game that I saw. I think he got traded.
He doesn't have the greatest batting average.
Yeah, he struck out at the game I went to, but you never know. I mean, rookie Independence Day from a blaster.
Yeah.
It's it's
That's a
crazy,
win.
man. It's crazy, dude. This look at this box.
So yeah, this was the box.
This you'd call this an average box, but still good. An Abrams relic rookie, Iglesias out of 99, a Sonny Gray short print, a Torkelson base, and then a J-Rod base to add. I'm trying to get to 200 of these. I'm close. I'm at 180 now.
Jeez. Yeah, so here was my box. O'Neill Cruz, relic, Torque 87, Suzuki 87, J-Rod base, and a Joe Denan Independence Day.
I like that Independence Day parallel, man. Paid for your box. I would almost guarantee you that. Those are amazing. Independence Day parallel, baby. Well, what a fun night, man.
Yeah,
It was
thanks for
definitely
Wish
fun. I'm gonna have
um,
to look up comps on that one just to be sure. I'm not sure that paid for my box, but it was, we'll call it $10.
I'll
wish
look
we
it
could
up
go
real quick.
back. Wish we could go back and just order hanger cases of this product and just literally break the bank. Like literally break the bank. We would be. I mean, I'm already happy at how much I opened, but I'd like to just have case after case after case after case coming.
If you could go back, would you have bought more logo fractor cases or more Tops Update hanger cases?
I would go. I would just
Fractor.
logo fractor full send,
Yeah,
like
that's what I
unbelievable.
figured.
Not even close. Yeah, I would have if
I still can't believe that, dude. Watching your streams when you were just opening box after box, it would be like O'Neill Cruz green, J Rod short print. I'm like, what is going on?
I, so that J Rod short print's already up to 4K on bids, and
Wow.
I was going through my boxes, and I don't know how, dude. When you're opening a lot of, you guys know, when you're opening a lot of cards, I'm pretty organized, and I put all my cards that are good. I'm going to keep and not sell in a certain area, so I don't sell them. And then I go through them and pull them out, and I have my grading cards. And I've gone through 2 orders now, and I have 6 logo fractor O'Neill Cruises and a short print O'Neill Cruise, and then four parallel cruises from logo fractor. And I'm like, I found them in my box. I'm like, why didn't I send these to get graded for $15? So my next order, I'm gonna include those.
oh yeah,
It just
the O'Neill Cruz. You were talking about the O'Neill Cruises. Yeah, you should have definitely
yeah,
grabbed those.
just the gift that keeps on giving. The logo fractor. That product was so sick, dude. That might go down as one of the all-time greatest products ever released. If this rookie class keeps going, man. I mean, it's wild. I can't believe that logo fractor J Rod is at 4K on bids. I took a chance. That's another
Yeah.
thing too. Like people, we could beat a dead horse here, but when you do 99-cent auctions, you're taking a chance that some stuff's going to sell cheaper. But lots of it's kind of that fine balance. I got some good stuff out there. Some stuff's gone lower than I expected, but some stuff has gone higher. I've had a lot of J Rods in tonight. I got a short print that's ending PSA 10. Brad at Underground, he got him up there fast. I'm pretty happy with him. So, well, fellas, any party shots here?
No, Preds, thanks again for the short notice on coming on. Really appreciate your insight. As always, you're always welcome back here on Batter Up. Any
Thank
final
you.
thoughts?
No, just thanks again for having me on, guys. Always a blast and always love, talking the latest news of what's going on in the baseball world, the baseball card world, and just having a great conversation. It's nice to feel like I'm hanging out with you guys in the same room right now. So definitely gotta meet up at the National or something and
Yeah,
get
National,
together,
baby.
do something fun. But thank you for having me on again.
Speaking of my parting shot, speaking of, if you are in the Midwest and you have the means, the Chicago Sports Spectacular is this weekend, 17th, Friday the 17th, 18th, and 19th. I'll be there on the Saturday. Don't be shy. Come on up and say hi. Love interacting with people. I'm not antisocial like that, so come and see me. I'll be there Saturday morning till probably late afternoon. Anything,
Sounds
John?
No, I'm good. Go Kings. They're
All
down
right,
early.
everybody. Thanks for the chat. It was a great night. We'll have another episode next week. Until next time. Peace.
Night, everybody.